I'm going to post something. It's honest. A bunch of gods are formulating what they want to say. A bunch of gods look like a big computer. Computes, tick, 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 tick. All these gods and all their powers are like tick, 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 tick. I'll just tell it candidly while these gods formulate what they need you to know specifically. I was dead. I've been killed over and over and over by Dubai and United States. They're not gonna fucking fuck you, be honest about shit. They drugged and poisoned me more than... they put more poisons and drugs in me than, like... I don't know how to say it. But I've been drugged and poisoned more than a whole planet and more. And the planet knew that from devils and more by the United States. And I was so dead and so drugged and poisoned, I didn't have a really good brain. And I thought Enrique Iglesias was the really amazing good boy that I used to play house with as a ghost when he was little. And I did the same thing with Hamden. I thought he was the same beautiful man he used to be. And I found out they had murdered me and more. But I didn't know at the time. So I was trying to be nice, but I was all haywire. And I had been raped and murdered so much. I was just doing weird, bizarre things I didn't quite understand. I was pretending to be married. I was pretending to be, brave. I was doing weird, bizarre things. And then they started raping me in different ways and abusing me in weird things like bouncing checks and doing weird, gross, abusive things to me. And my death stopped being all weird and gross. And I realized, oh my God, my powers don't have any concept. They actually murdered me, drugged and poisoned me until my powers didn't even work right. And I had no idea where the hell I was or what was going on. But I was playing house like I was a giant. But the more I thought about it, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. But it was really embarrassing. And I thought, well, one day I'll just be really embarrassed that I'm so stupid when I'm dead. But I found out they had raped and killed me. And the United States was just making it worse by playing sicko games with everybody who had raped and murdered me. And they were laughing as countries and more about what they had done to me. And playing weird relationshipy gross games of abuse and destruction of my raped death. And I stupidly was doing a bunch of things that I don't even understand why I would do when I'm a raped, dead, liquid god. And trust me, you have to be killed a lot to be just liquid. And that's all that's left. Just think or say, my queen, my queen, my queen, and find out the specifics, the secrets, the details. It's horrifying. But yes, I did think they were still good people. I was like up in the sky, and Enrique Iglesias was still like 8 years old and so beautiful. And Hamden was still a little boy wanting to dream big dreams while I wished he had more money to live those dreams. And it was weird. And then I wake up out of my death because they just would not stop raping me and abusing my death until I woke up and realized, oh my God, they actually killed me. A ringer, monumental. I'm made to die a ton and resurrect and then kill a ton. And I still there was like barely nothing. Well, there was literally nothing left of me until like they had done certain things to make my death kind of weirdly wake up. It's kind of hard to explain, but gods could show you through my queen, my queen, my queen. And I realized they had done unimaginable, unlimited, unthinkable things against me. So I thought, oh my God. And I didn't think little tiny humans could become so sickeningly horrifying as to have murdered me brutally in mass quantity and more over and over and over for over 50 years. You just don't think humans could become that sickening. You know, the devil whispers in every ear. They killed Jesse Arias so badly, he was just screaming for hours and died horrifying. But you just don't think humanity could be this sickening, but they are. And as you start to solve the case, you realize that's why coronavirus was around the world and not just among like the worst of the worst of the worst. I guess evil God enemies helped everyone to understand how fun it is to murder until they just keep doing it over and over and believe they were God and get sick in the head and take it way too far a long time ago. As a dead God, I once again would tell you to think or say my queen, my queen, my queen, and verify there wasn't anything functioning left inside of me. And I've had to do the unthinkably impossible to reconstruct and resurrect and be able to be. And it was horrifying because if you don't reconstruct enough, resurrection doesn't kick in because your reconstruction has to kick into the inner reality of your existence. So when you're Jesus and they make deals with the devil to kill you or make sure you have to die. So Jesus could have just flown home and had whatever he wanted. But they made deals with the devil and worse because they wanted Jesus to die because they would never get to heaven and they were just gross. And don't ask and don't act like you don't know serial killers and bad things exist. But when Jesus died, the only way out was through Jesus, right? But if Jesus didn't complete his resurrection, that door is inside of Jesus and you can't get out. So it was so bad being liquid death that if I didn't rebuild it enough to have my own door, nobody would ever get out. Not Jesus, not any God, not anyone. I'm the only way out. So you have a main door inside of you. You don't want anyone to walk through that door because that'd be gross. But that main doorway gives you the legal right to help anyone get out if you choose, or make sure they never get out if you choose. And that's the beauty of being a savior. Jesus gets to decide who he just will not allow to live, just like me, just like every savior. But it was horrifying and it was terrifying and it was really scary. So yeah, you're going to hear a lot of stories about a lot of things. So I figured I'll just tell you guys right away. If I were you, I would think or say, my queen, my queen, my queen. Find out that everything is just tragically, grossly horrifying. And don't talk about those things in any way that gods don't allow. If you talk about the secrets of what has happened to me in a gross or abusive way, they'll kill you and never let you out and never stop killing you. So make sure you're talking about the nightmare of what I've been through appropriately. Or if you want to be like Jerry Springer talking a little out there, just make sure you think or say my queen, my queen, my queen. Find out about the ins and outs of my death and what they did to me. And just make sure that what you're talking about, you talk to gods about first to make sure it's just legal and they won't kill you forever and make sure you can't live forever or something over it. Because like I said, I like to just say, stay good people. Work through my queen, my queen, my queen to always live on and have a good time with gods and never have to care about the 666 or the dead and bad side of existence. Because it's a lot better to live forever than to ever even understand the 666. If that's what was necessary. But the gods will let you sit and talk about certain things, as long as it's legally appropriate. Now, what's legally appropriate? Well, that's why you would think or say my queen, my queen, my queen, and have gods break down for you what is appropriate or how far you can go with things so that you have your little badge and you're legal and you're only doing what gods don't really care about. Because, it'll be in a Bible. It'll be in a Bible soon, but they'll kill you if you get gross with it. And it'll be in movies and books soon, but they'll kill you if you get gross with it. So it's really good right now to be proactive. Think or say my queen, my queen, my queen, and find out from the gods what is legal and only stick to those things. Good luck, guys.